One of the other quotes that's in the book that lends support is from Peter Thiel, obviously one of the world's most well-respected, well-known entrepreneurs and investors. He says, quote, "The climate debate ignores the reasons we burn fossil fuels in the first place. Alex Epstein reminds us that rich countries may be able to treat green lifestyles as luxury fashion, but for much of the world, reliable energy is a matter of life and death," end quote. Talk to me about that, this idea of luxury fashion. You mentioned a little bit earlier about energy poverty, but is it just that people in the Western world, we're super privileged to be able to even talk about getting rid of fossil fuels? And like we've literally lost our minds. If people that were saying that went and spent time around the world, they would come running back and immediately abandon the ESG narrative?
There's definitely something to that. I mean, I forget exactly what he said in the first part of that quote, but I think it's really crucial about ignoring the reasons why we burn fossil fuels in the first place. And so this is my version of, we're not seriously considering the benefits of fossil fuels. We're just focused on the side effects. Now I'm arguing also we're what I call catastrophizing the side effects. So we're making them far worse than they are. That's one reason why people think, oh, it's a climate catastrophe, when in fact, yes, we've had some warming impact, but overall we're far safer, far better in terms of climate, let alone everything else. So I think part of what he's pointing out is, yeah, you're ignoring the benefits. And then he says, well, the benefits of fossil fuels are most obvious for the people who want to use them, but aren't using them. So you think of the people, again, who are using less electricity in their lives than one of our refrigerators. To them, it's obvious. And I'm actually really happy that I'm getting more and more people from the impoverished, what I call unempowered world, speaking up about this. Because I since my first book, The Moral Case for Fossil Fuels, I've been very encouraging of that. And it's really cool to see that. Now, this other thing about like luxury things, I would agree that partial use of solar and wind is a luxury in the sense of it makes our electricity more expensive. And if you try to cut costs at all, less reliable. So that's what we've had in California. I would argue that's also what's going on in Texas. Clearly it's what's going on in California.